Let me tell you something most people will never hear in their entire lifetime. There is a symbol woven into the fabric of your soul, a shape hidden in your body, in your energy field, in your dreams, and in the blueprint of creation itself. It appears in ancient temples. It appears in sacred manuscripts. It appears in the geometry of the universe. And it appears in the moment you open your eyes for the first time in this lifetime. But no one ever told you what it truly means. And yet the moment you see it, something inside you whispers, "You've known me before." This symbol is the Vesica Piscis, the shape that exists between worlds, the space where spirit and matter meet, the doorway your soul uses to cross between lifetimes. And once you understood what this symbol really is, you will never look at yourself, your life, or your consciousness the same way again. Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome back to Lemuria, the art of remembering, the space where ancient wisdom isn't just studied, it's remembered. Hi, I'm Cherry, your spiritual life coach, energy alchemist, numerologist, mentor and high priestess, and honestly, your best friend who will lovingly call you out on your bullshit while guiding you back to the truth of who you really are, especially the exhausted people pleasers, the recovering self-abandoners, the ones who feel like they've lived 1,000 lifetimes, finally reclaim their power and step into the version of themselves they were always meant to be. I don't do surface level spirituality. I don't do love and light only. I don't do fluff. I do remembering. I do transformation. I do liberation. And today we're going deep into one of the most sacred symbols in existence, the Vesica Piscis, the gateway to divine consciousness. Before we go deep into this, if you're already feeling that inner yes, that little buzz in your chest, that moment of holy shit, I'm supposed to hear this, then I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and tap that notification bell so you never miss a transmission. This channel isn't just content, it's a frequency, a remembering, a homecoming. And if you're ready to rise with me, like this video, drop a fire or heart emoji in the comments and let me know where in the world you're joining me from. All right, gorgeous soul, let's step through the gateway. There is a reason the Vesica Piscis has appeared in every spiritual civilization. Egypt, Greece, the mystery schools, the Essenes, Lemuria, Atlantis, early Christianity, and even the sacred temples that no longer physically exist. Because this shape is the blueprint of creation. It's the first shape that emerges when the universe begins to know itself. It's the geometry of birth, the geometry of awakening, the geometry of you. So today we're going to explore it, not as a mathematical idea, but as a living, breathing portal inside your consciousness. Let's begin by going back in time, way back, to the ancient mystery schools. In Egypt, priestesses would stand before a giant stone carving of the Vesica Piscis. They would place their hands upon it. They would chant into it. They would enter trance states through it. Why? Because this symbol wasn't an image, it was an interface. Imagine walking through a temple lit only by flickering oil lamps. Imagine stepping onto sandstone, worn smooth by thousands of initiates before you. Imagine seeing this symbol carved into stone, glowing faintly, as if lit from within. And the moment your eyes landed on it, your whole body remembers. Because the Vesica Piscis is not just a shape. It's the memory of your soul stepping into form. It appears in the womb, in your aura, in the energy between your chakras, in the way creation splits and expands, in your own spiritual awakening, in the way you are born into and out of lifetimes. And this is why people feel strange, emotional, or activated when they see it. It's not random, it's recognition. In ancient traditions, the Vesica Piscis was the womb of the goddess, the portal through which souls entered the world. This is why you maybe feel drawn to it. This is why it feels familiar, because this is the shape your soul passed through before you entered your physical body. This is also the shape of the uni, the cosmic egg, the passage between worlds, Lemurian water portals, ancestral gateways, the opening of the heart, the meeting point of duality. And yes, it carries the Lemurian frequency. Let me drag you lovingly for a moment, because here's where the Vesica Piscis mirrors you. You are made of two worlds, the spiritual and the physical. but most people are collapsing the space between them. They give too much, absorb too much, abandon themselves, lose the center of their being. They let others define their energy. They live for approval, drown in people-pleasing. This is what happens when the two circles of your life merge too tightly. There is no sacred center left. So if you're hearing this and thinking, shit, that's me, you need a building boundary strategy freebie that's in the description box below. You can't open a portal of divine consciousness if you won't even hold a boundary in your human life. Let's talk cosmology, but in a way that actually makes sense. When the universe began, whether you call it the Big Bang, source expansion, or the Great Breathing, there was one consciousness. Then that consciousness expanded outward to explore itself. That expansion created the first circle. When that consciousness reflected on itself, when it became aware of its own existence, it created the second circle. Where those two circles overlap, that's the Vesica Piscis, the space where self meets source, spirit meets matter, God meets goddess, consciousness meets form. This is you. This is the shape of your awakening. In old traditions, this shape is known as the eye of God. Not because God is watching you, let's drop that outdated narrative, but because this is the shape God used to see through you. It is a symbol of divine perception, multidimensional clarity, spiritual insight, higher awareness, the third eye of awakening. And if your third eye has been buzzing, itching, pulsing, or lightening up lately, this is why. Now, you know, I'm not going to be missing this opportunity. The Vesica Piscis is encoded in 2 + 1 = 3. 2 circles plus the center equals creation. The sacred triad, the blueprint of manifestation, Holy Trinity, mind, body, spirit. And your numerology chart shows exactly how you move through these triads in this lifetime. And if you don't know what your numerology roadmap is, again, there is a free link down in the description box, which is your quick guide to how numerology works for you. Give you your purpose, it will give you your karmic lessons, your gifts, and your divine design. So go download that freebie now. The Vesica Piscis literally appears in your life path. I want you to imagine standing before a giant Vesica Piscis carved into marble. Priestesses in white and gold circle around you, chanting in a language your mind can't understand, but your soul sings along with. One priestess steps forward, places her hand on your heart and whispers, "This is the shape of who you were before the world told you who to be." And suddenly, you feel a pull in your chest and your throat tightens. Your eyes well with tears because deep down you remember. The Vesica Piscis doesn't teach you something new. It awakens something ancient. Okay, now that we've stepped into the mysteries, let's talk about something that most spiritual teachers completely avoid. You are made of 2 worlds, and your awakening depends on whether you can hold both without collapsing into either. That overlap, the Vesica Piscis, is literally the symbol of the divine union inside you. It's the point where your humanity meets your divinity, your logic meets your intuition, your masculine meets your feminine, your shadow meets your light, your purpose meets your potential, your desire meets your destiny. Most people live entirely in one circle. All human, no soul. Exhausted, overthinking, running, pleasing, proving. You know this one. Or all spirit. No body. Floating, escaping, bypassing. Disassociating. Taking the enlightenment but living through avoidance. Neither is wholeness. The Vesica Piscis says you become powerful when you learn to hold both. This is shadow work. This is integration. This is maturity. This is divine consciousness made manifest. And this is why I hope you're drawn to me, because I don't teach you to escape. I teach you to return fully, unapologetically, and fiercely. Now let's go deeper into the womb space of creation. In every sacred tradition, the Vesica Piscis is the portal of the divine feminine. Not feminine as in gender, feminine as in the principle of creation, intuition, flow, and remembrance. This symbol is the uni, the cosmic womb, the doorway between the worlds, the Lemurian water portal, the passage the soul uses to incarnate, the place where timelines braid together. When ancient priestesses meditated in front of the Vesica Piscis, They weren't looking at a picture. They were opening a portal. They were stepping into the realm of prophecy, dream work, emotional alchemy, intuitive intelligence, soul memory, timeline convergence. And this is where your Lemurian teachings get to shine, because the Lemurians understood the Vesica Piscis better than anyone else. You know how I always say Lemurians were the heart and the Atlanteans were the mind? Well, the Vesica Piscis is the bridge between them. In Lemurian temples, especially the underwater ones, the Vesica Piscis was used as a frequency gate. It showed up in water vortexes, healing pools, dimensional gateways, dream travel chambers, emotional alchemy rituals, because the Vesica Piscis is a shape like a drop of water. And water remembers everything. This is why you cry during spiritual awakenings. Your intuition is strongest around water. Your emotional body is the doorway. Your dreams become prophetic. Your heart knows things your mind cannot explain. And if you've been feeling the pull towards Lemurian energy, that soft, ancient healing frequency, go grab your Lemurian activation freebie. It will deepen exactly this aspect of your awakening, and it's down in the description box. Now, one thing most people never learn is this. The Vesica Piscis isn't just a shape. It's a mechanism, a tool, a technology. When two timelines overlap, when two realities touch, when two versions of you collide, that space, that overlap, is the Vesica Piscis. This is why deja vu feels like a portal. Deja vu feels like a memory. Quantum leaps happen suddenly. Healing can happen in one moment. Awakenings feel like stepping through a doorway. The Vesica Piscis is a quantum possibility. It is the shape of choice, breakthrough, expansion, identity shifts, intuition opening, soul remembrance. When you step into the Vesica Piscis, you step into the version of you that already exists in your highest timeline. Now, buckle up, because we're about to go truly cosmic. The Vesica Piscis is the first shape that emerges in sacred geometry. From it comes the flower of life, the seed of life, the tree of life, the egg of life, the macabre, Metatron's cube, the platonic solids, everything, literally everything in sacred geometry exists because of the Vesica Piscis. Imagine the universe breathing. The first exhale creates circle 1. The second exhale creates circle 2. The space between, that overlap, creates everything else. This is why healers, mystics, channelers, and priestesses feel pulled towards it. Your soul recognizes its architectural blueprint. The Vesica Piscis is the doorway. The macabre is the vehicle. The macabre is your interdimensional light body. It's built from the geometry that emerges from the Vesica Piscis. You cannot activate the macabre without grounding into your humanity, opening your divinity, balancing your feminine and masculine, stabilizing your emotional body, understanding your numerology blueprint, healing your boundaries. Because yes, boundaries matter. Because the Vesica Piscis is the center of your energy system. And a chaotic center cannot sustain a spinning light body. And if you're listening to this thinking my energy feels chaotic, emotions feel overwhelming, my spiritual awakening feels messy, then this is exactly why you need to book a self-empowerment session with me to see if we're the right fit. Because your light body cannot activate if your nervous system is stuck in people-pleasing mode. So why do people feel drawn to this symbol? Have you ever noticed that some symbols feel like home, while others feel like someone else's story? The Vesica Piscis is your story. You feel drawn to it because you've passed through it between lifetimes. Your intuition speaks through it. Your heart chakra is shaped like it. Your soul remembers the Lemurian temples. Your light body awakens through its geometry. Your purpose emerges through its center. You're not attached to the Vesica Piscis. You're remembering yourself through it. It's the portal of inner knowing, a story for activating. Imagine sitting before a shimmering pool of water in a Lemurian temple. The water is still until a priestess touches it with a single fingertip. And as the water ripples, the Vesica Piscis appears on its surface. And she whispers, "This is the doorway you've crossed to come here. And the doorway you will cross to awaken again." And suddenly the water glows. Your heart responds. Your whole body feels like it's remembering something ancient. Because it is. Because you're not learning this. You're reactivating it. Now that we've stepped into the deeper current of this symbol, the part of the ancient initiates kept hidden from everyone except the most prepared. In sacred geometry, the Vesica Piscis is known as the eye of God, or source, whatever you want to replace that word with. Not a literal eye watching you. We're way past that outdated concept. This isn't God watching you or source watching you. This is God or source seeing through you. The Vesica Piscis is the geometry of perception. It is the shape of insight, intuition, psychic awareness, divine knowing, soul vision, the opening of the third eye. Because the third eye isn't just a chakra you work on. It's a portal you align with. And the portal is shaped like the Vesica Piscis. This is why meditation activates it. Breath work opens it. Shadow work clears it. Boundaries protect it. Numerology reveals its purpose. Lemurian healing stabilizes it. Everything you do in your spiritual awakening is preparing your energy to see clearly through the Vesica Piscis within you. Let's clear one thing up right now. Christ consciousness is not Christianity. It's not dogma. It's not religion. It is a frequency, a state of awareness, a dimension of the heart. And the Vesica Piscis is the geometry map of that frequency. Why? Because the Vesica Piscis is the symbol of unconditional love, unity consciousness, divine embodiment, the merging of heaven and earth, the awakening of the heart, the return to oneness. Ancient mystics used the Vesica Piscis to represent enlightenment, the moment when the human and the divine overlap so fully that the center becomes activated. And that center, that is Christ consciousness. It's not outside of you. It's the space in you where your soul and your humanity merge. This is why healers, light workers, star seeds, Lemurian souls, all of them naturally awaken into this frequency. It's literally written into your geometry. Let's ground this into your body for a moment. Place your awareness between your eyebrows. Now imagine that space slowly widening, softening, opening. Now breathe gently into that space. What you're doing right now is aligning your consciousness with the Vesica Piscis inside your third eye. Because guess what? Your pineal gland is shaped like the center of the Vesica Piscis. Your intuition isn't something you chase. It's something you remember how to open. But here's the trap most people fall into. They try to spiritually awaken while their nervous system is in collapse mode. They try to open their third eye while their life is full of blurred boundaries and energetic chaos. They try to activate their intuition while drowning in people pleasing. And all I can say is no. You cannot open the divine portal while abandoning yourself, because you cannot access the eye of God if you're still living in the eyes of everyone else. Let me walk you back into history for a moment. In Egyptian temples, Gothic cathedrals, Sumerian carvings, Celtic sacred sites, Greek mystery schools, the Vesica Piscis appears everywhere. Why? Because it was the initiation symbol, the marker of someone ready to cross from ordinary perception into divine consciousness. Priests would use it as a gateway for astral travel, a map for meditation, a symbol of resurrection, a guide for healing, a representation of the soul's journey, a doorway for ritual initiation. The shape appears above doorways for a reason. You step through it to access a higher state. You are literally walking through a portal of awakening every time you step through a doorway shaped like a vesica. And you've seen this symbol your entire life without even knowing why it hits you so deeply, because your soul remembers awakening through this portal, through these portals in past lives. Let's bring this into human life for a moment. Because spiritual awakening isn't just geometry, it's embodiment. In your energy field, the Vesica Piscis represents the balance of logic and intuition, giving and receiving, strength and softness, action and surrender, masculine and feminine, mind and heart. Where the circles overlap, you find alignment. But most people live lopsided, too masculine, overgiving, controlling, hypervigilant, too feminine, overwhelmed, grounded, porous, boundaryless. The Vesica Piscis teaches you your power is the overlap. This is the sacred center where your intuition becomes reliable, your heart becomes wise, your boundaries become strong, your vision becomes clear, your purpose becomes obvious, your energy becomes magnetic. But you keep sabotaging yourself by collapsing into one circle. And I don't want you to do that anymore, because empowerment is geometry before its behavior. All right, now we get into the quantum reality. Manifestation doesn't happen from desire alone. It doesn't happen through thought alone. It doesn't happen from emotion alone. It happens from the overlap, the Vesica Piscis between belief, embodiment, energetic alignment. Your desires exist in one circle. Your current reality exists in the other. The manifestation emerges in the center, where the two meet. This is why affirmations alone don't work. Visualization alone doesn't work. Journaling alone doesn't work. You must become the portal. You must embody the geometry of creation. This is why my clients shift so fast when they work with me, because I teach them how to live from the Vesica Piscis, not dream about it. I want to move on to the numerology, because your numerology chart contains the Vesica Piscis encoded in your life lessons. Your soul number, karma number, destiny number, gift number, and life path number all show the places where your soul is trying to create the overlap, where your two circles need to meet. Now, most people reject their life path because they don't understand it. But I'm here to teach you how to read your soul's geometry, because this is where your Vesica Piscis aligns with your destiny. Now let's step into the architecture, into the architect, level of divine intelligence. This part right here, this is where consciousness starts forming patterns, structures, and worlds. You've seen the flower of life before, on jewelry, tattoos, murals, spiritual books, but most people have no idea what it actually is. The truth, the flower of life is not a symbol. It's a blueprint, the blueprint. It is the entire universe mapped through repeating Vesica Piscis openings. It begins with the one circle, source. Circle 2 is a reflection of source. The overlap, Vesica Piscis. From that overlap, another circle is born, then another, and another. The flower of life expands in perfect symmetry, just like consciousness does. Every single shape in sacred geometry emerges from one moment, source becoming aware of itself. And that moment is the Vesica Piscis. This is why when people awaken spiritually, they start seeing circles, halos, mandalas, portals, eyes, feminine shapes, geometric patterns. They're remembering the architecture of creation. Now, most people also think that the tree of life is Kabbalistic. And yes, it appears in Kabbalah, but it existed long before. The tree of life originally emerged from the flower of life pattern, which emerged from the seed of life, which emerged from the Vesica Piscis. This means your entire spiritual evolution, every initiation, every energy center, every expansion is encoded inside the Vesica Piscis. The tree of life is your soul's journey, mapped in geometric form, showing how consciousness densifies into matter, how the soul descends and ascends, how awakening happens in stages, how you become a bridge between worlds. The Vesica Piscis is stage 0, and in that moment your soul says, I am ready to become. Now, brace your heart, because this part is going to hit deep. The Vesica Piscis is the cosmic womb, the place where your soul entered the universe. Your life force first emerged. Your consciousness took form. You passed through between lifetimes. You returned to between incarnations. This is why working with this symbol triggers big emotions, sudden tears, heart openings, deja vu, strange dreams, childhood memories, past life flashes. Your body remembers the shape your soul came through. And that means this isn't a geometry lesson. It's a remembrance ceremony. Imagine standing before a circle, before a circular pool of glowing water in a Lemurian temple. The water is still, illuminated from beneath by crystal light. A priestess dressed in silver approaches you. She draws a circle in the air, then another. Where they overlap, a golden light forms. The Vesica Piscis. This, she says softly, is the doorway between who you think you are and who you truly are. Step through it and remember. You take a breath, you step forward, and as you cross the threshold, you feel memories, lifetimes, timelines, frequencies, truths, abilities, clarity, purpose, all flooding back into you. This isn't fantasy. It's a frequency you've lived before, and you're living again now. So if you want to activate your light body, you want to travel dimensions, you want to connect with Thoth, with Lemuria, with your higher self, start here. The Merkaba, the star tetrahedron vehicle, is powered by the spinning of 2 Vesica Piscis vortexes. This means your light body is literally built from union, balance, harmony, sacred polarity, divine integration, emotional coherence. You cannot have a stable Merkaba if your inner world is unstable. This is why this work is so crucial. Your boundaries, your emotions, your beliefs, your energy, your intuitive signals, your identity. All of this is so your geometry can activate. I want to move on to the chakras. Your heart chakra is shaped like the Vesica Piscis. It is the chakra where physical meets spiritual, ego meets soul, past meets future, desire meets destiny, wounds meet healing, human meets divine, love meets purpose. This is why heart awakenings feel like dying and being reborn, all at the same time. When your heart chakra opens, it forms a Vesica Piscis geometry, and that geometry protects your aura. This is what people sense when they say, you feel different, you feel powerful, you feel magnetic, you feel like a priestess, you feel ancient. They're not sensing your personality, they're sensing your geometry. Every single one of the 10 energy bodies uses a Vesica Piscis as a structural pattern. For example, the soul body, the Vesica Piscis holds your soul memory. The negative mind overlaps fear and discernment. The positive mind overlaps possibilities and clarity. The neutral mind, the center point of divine truth. The physical body entirely through geometry overlaps. The arc line is a shield formed from twin energy arcs. Your aura expands outward in circular fields. Your pranic body, breathing form, expand in circles. The subtle body is perception emerging from overlap. The radiant body, light projecting through the portal. The Vesica Piscis is not a shape your soul remembers. It is the shape your soul is. Now, people tell themselves, I'm broken. I don't know who I am. I'm overwhelmed. I have no boundaries. I'm too emotional. I give too much. I feel lost. And this is exactly what happens when their 2 circles, spiritual and matter, no longer overlap. That center point, the Vesica Piscis within them, collapses. I don't want you to feel like you need fixing, because you don't. You need reunion, because boundaries create the Vesica Piscis. Without boundaries, there is no center, no self, no power, no clarity, no awakening. Okay, so this is where we enter the teachings very few initiates ever receive. In ancient mystery traditions, the Vesica Piscis wasn't just a portal. It was a symbol of resurrection. Why? Because resurrection isn't about coming back from physical death. It's about coming back from the heartbreak, the self-abandonment, the trauma, the shame, the physical collapse, the burnout, the identity loss, the disconnection from self. When the old self dies, the new self emerges through the Vesica Piscis. It is the rebirth geometry. This is why your biggest awakening felt like breakdowns. You lost friends when your consciousness rose. Your old life dissolved before your new one even appeared. You felt between worlds, confused and raw. You had seasons of nothingness. You weren't broken. You were between circles. You were in the overlap, the void between who you were and who you are becoming. That space is the Vesica Piscis, the rebirth chamber, the place where your old identity is stripped away and your soul steps forward to lead. Now let's go cosmic for a moment. In astral travel, when consciousness moves between dimensions, the shape of the gateway is always the Vesica Piscis. It might appear as a glowing almond shape, a shimmering portal, a vertical oval of light, even an eye, or a teardrop of frequency, an opening in the veil. But the geometry is the same. Why is this? Because the Vesica Piscis is a dimensional threshold. It represents here and there, known and unknown, form and formless, self and higher self. If your dreams lately have included portals, doorways, glowing ovals, water ripples, eyes, light tunnels, you're already started stepping through the Vesica. Your consciousness is expanding. Your subtle body is awakening. Your energy is preparing for the next level. And this is why you need grounding. You need boundaries. for your spiritual awakening, for it to happen faster. Then your nervous system can then stabilize itself, because ascension requires regulation. Let me show you how healing really works. Beyond therapy, beyond journaling, beyond the affirmations. The Vesica Piscis contains the energy of reconciliation, forgiveness, integration, unity, merging, return, wholeness. When you heal, it's because you let something go. You heal because two aspects of you finally overlap. The wounded self and the wise self, the child self and the adult self, the past self and the present self, the fearful self and the empowered self, the broken identity and the reborn identity. Healing is the Vesica Piscis happening inside of you. It is the inner reunion. This is why the deepest teachings feel like clarity, peace, quiet, neutrality, acceptance, and opening sensation. Your inner geometry shifts, the overlap appears, and you feel whole again. Not because you fixed yourself, but because you met yourself. Now we need to get personal. If you are watching this video, you have almost certainly worked with the Vesica Piscis in past lives. You were either a Lemurian priestess working in water temples, a healer using geometry to open energy fields, an Egyptian initiate studying light body activation, a scribe of sacred symbols, an oracle who saw through the Vesica, a gateway keeper, a dream walker, a guide between worlds. This symbol activates you because you have touched it before. You have stepped through it before. You have used it before. You have remembered through it before. This is why when you see it, your chest tightens, your heart swells, your intuition spikes, your memories stir, your dreams intensify. Your soul is waking up. Now let's talk manifestation, but in a way that integrates your divine intelligence. Manifestation does not come from wishing, hoping, forcing, scripting, repeating phrases, bypassing your emotions. Manifestation comes from the Vesica Piscis. It's the geometry of desire, belief, alignment. Your desire is one circle. Your current self is the other. Your manifestation happens in the overlap. This means you cannot manifest a life you won't embody. You cannot manifest a partner that you're not energetically available for. You cannot manifest a purpose you're hiding from. You cannot manifest abundance while clinging to your victim identity. You cannot manifest clarity while living in people-pleasing chaos. The Vesica Piscis is your reminder. If the two circles don't meet, the manifestation cannot be born. This means you live from your center, not your wounds. You respond instead of reacting. You choose yourself without guilt. You set boundaries without explanation. You speak your truth without fear. You trust your intuition without doubt. You hold space for your emotions without drowning in them. You allow your humanity and your divinity to coexist. This is the feminine rising. This is the masculine stabilizing. This is the soul remembering. This is the human becoming whole. This is the ascension made practical. And this is your work. You need to return to your center. Stop abandoning yourself. Heal your nervous system. Embody your soul. Activate your sacred geometry. Imagine two circles of light forming in front of you, one representing your soul and one representing the human self. They slowly move towards each other. As they overlap, the center glows gold. The Vesica Piscis forms. Now imagine stepping into that center space. And as you do, you feel your power returning, your emotions calming, your intuition sharpening, your heart opening, your purpose aligning, your past softening, your future calling. This is the portal inside you. This is the geometry of your true self. This is who you came here to be. Now I'm going to stop this video here. I'm going to make a part 2. So for now, if you want to grab your freebies, go down in the description box because that's where you'll find all 3 of them. And stay tuned for the part 2. So hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell, and leave a message in the comments section. What part of this first video was an aha moment for you? Until next time, bye for now.